Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Different Breed and today we are going underground. If you want to contribute to this series, snap a pic or take a video of a camp spot and how to throw it, then post it in the Discord and the Gadget Spots channel. The best ones will be featured in a future video. Let's build the best camp spot collection ever seen. We will keep an eye on our bunker here. For our first cam here, we're gonna be lounging out behind this chair over here. We're gonna lay down all the way up against the wall, and then we're gonna aim for this broomstick right where this line of the bottom of the wood comes at. So we're just tossing it right here. And then what we're gonna be able to do is we're gonna be able to see right through this little chair over here. And then if we were to see somebody go ahead and break into this door and look down this hallway, then we're gonna be able to see him just fine. And if he's looking at the camera itself, then it's gonna be a little bit difficult for him to see because the light itself is gonna be hidden behind this chair. We're gonna be able to see him move around, and it's gonna, you know, it's obviously we're not seeing everything in the room. There's definitely places that he can hide. As you can see, we can't see him at all, and I mean, he can't see the cam at all, but as you can see, there's definitely places that attackers can go ahead and hide from this camera. However, we can use it as an audio cue to know that they're in there, and it does hide very, very well for the light itself. So as long as we're not like super blatant with this camera and we're not sitting over here constantly scanning these enemies, which we can't even scan them anyway, as you can see. So that works out when you're doing solo queuing and you don't want people to scan on this camera and people to look for it. So that's everything there. Oh, this camera is also obviously easy and you can retrieve it. The second camera is going to be a little bit harder than the first camera. We're going to throw it right up here into the ceiling. Now we're going to try and get it behind this pipe and in behind these pipes as well, over into this little spot here. So I don't really have a specific spot to stand, which is gonna make it a little bit harder. This is when you're just gonna have to practice and just figure out how to get it correctly. And then you're just gonna go ahead and toss it right in there. Like, as you can see, I couldn't even get that correctly the first try. The second try is a little bit better, but luckily we can still grab it. And the third try is not perfect either, but it was supposed to be because third time's the charm, right? Yeah, see, third time's the charm, perfect. Just gets it right up there into that spot, and we're gonna be able to see all the way down this hallway, the doorway, and a little bit over here to the west, northwest side. Obviously, this isn't gonna be like I can see everything on this camera, but it is going to be able to see a whole bunch of things. I can just move it to one spot and we can see everything that this camera can basically see. So it can stay basically stationary. That's the word I was looking for. And we're going to be able to see the attacker's feet. That's what we're mostly going to be able to see here. And their bodies when they get closer to it. Like if I'm just standing next to this Valkyrie over here, we're going to be able to see no problem over here. And over here, we're gonna also be able to use this as a sound cue if they're going up against this wall over here. And if they're going over by the door as well, we're gonna definitely be able to use it as a sound cue. If we look on this camera and they're heading down the hallway, we're gonna be able to see them all the way down the hallway until they start rounding this corner over here to where this wall is. So we're at least gonna be able to let our teammates know that people are coming down this way, there's people in this bunker, and all that kind of fun stuff. Looking for this camera is also gonna be very difficult. If we are, like, it's just like the chair over here. It's the lights themselves are being hidden by the pipes, which, you know, makes it harder to see the person, but it also makes it harder to spot the camera. So if we're looking up quickly, we're not gonna be able to find it. If we're not looking for a camera, we're definitely not gonna be able to find it. And it is gonna be a little bit easier as we move backwards to find this camera. However, what's super nice about this is that it doesn't super shine like usual when you're stepping away from the camera and you're looking at one. And I think that's just because of where it sits behind all these pipes and it's like in the background mostly, I don't know. But if we get off of this camera, then it's gonna be even harder to find. And we're really not gonna be able to see it unless we're really looking for a camera here. And if we wanted to go ahead and grab this camera, then we can't. This is just where it's gonna be forever. And for our third and final camera over here, we're gonna go very simple. And it's gonna be on a little medium, I guess, difficulty, mainly because we're gonna be using a technique. Now, if you know the technique where you throw a C4 down and then you can go ahead and bounce a camera off of it to get to somewhere else, then you're gonna understand how we can do this. So normally, if I were to throw a camera right here, it would just stick here, and that's where it would be. If I go ahead and toss a C4 though, which I didn't want to get it on the ceiling, but it should work. Well, let's see if it works. It doesn't work. So we don't want it to get it on the ceiling, and what's good is that we can go ahead and capture that C4. We want to toss it over onto this piece of wood right here, and then we're gonna go ahead and toss that down, and then this camera is gonna land right on top of this light here. I don't know, why is it so much more difficult? There we go. See, so it lands perfectly on that top here. You can lower the C4 a bit and like get it down here, which it might be a little bit easier to go ahead and get that camera on there. But now that camera is sitting on top of this light pole, and I'm gonna try it again to try and get it a little bit more better on this light pole. I don't know why this is such a difficult time in my life right now. I honestly I don't understand. I honestly don't understand. Just like that. See, super easy. There was no problem at all. Yeah. No problem. And then what we can see on this camera is we're gonna be able to see this little cubby over here. So if we really want to protect this wall and want to make sure that we can see the people rounding this corner and coming through this way, then this might be a pretty decent camera. However, if we are gonna be heading over as an attacker and we look at this thing, then it's gonna be a little bit obvious. What's super nice about this is that you don't see that big bright blue light. It does flash a little bit and say like I'm a camera and someone's on it, right? And if I get off of it, then it just looks like a regular camera and just a little bit of a blue light. So what's nice about this one is that we don't have that huge circle bloom effect happening over here. So like you can see it when you back up here. So you're just gonna be too close to this camera to have that bloom effect happen, which is super nice and makes it a little bit more viable to even use. And what we're using this light as kind of like a blending in opportunity. Like this isn't a camera, this is just part of the light, especially when it's off and it's not being shined at all. Then if people are looking at this wall and more concerned about this wall, or if this wall's opened, they're more concerned about this being an opening here, they're gonna be looking down here, they're gonna be looking straight ahead instead of up at this light. So this might get unnoticed, especially because it's like, why would there be a camera here wide out in the open and instead of like up in a corner somewhere? It doesn't make any sense. So that's why this one could work out potentially better than you would think. And if you wanted to retrieve this camera, then you can go ahead and get it back. If you want to protect areas of other maps or this one, check out the playlist of my past cam videos linked on your screen right now. Don't forget to post your spots in the Discord. Until next time, stay different.